Hello and welcome to haQ attaQ. My name is Jakob, I'm your host, and you're watching a haQ attaQ episode. Here we've got KORG Gadget loaded, and this is the fourth part of the drum and bass production tricks series. Now, if you've missed part 1, part 2, part 3, and or the part about sidechain compression, what it is basically and how to use it, then I suggest you go click on this card. It will open up and show you the actual playlist for this series. In this episode, we're going to have a look at what's making up the pads. Now, I know I probably said in my previous episode that we were going to have a look at the arpeggios too, but it turns out that that would require an entire episode of its own, so that will be part 5. Sorry for that, but that's how I'll have to do it. The haQ gadget sounds incredibly good, and it's a perfect gadget to use for pads in a drum and bass track such as this one. Right, so there are two pad machines right here, and one of them is sidechain compressed and the other one isn't, and I'll show you why. Let's start with the one being sidechain compressed. Now you can clearly hear the sidechain compression pumping the sound of the pad, and it's very apparent when listening to the gadget soloed out and nothing else playing. But as soon as we turn off the solo mode here and start playing everything else, you'll hear how the track becomes glued, and then the pumping sound from the sidechain compression isn't that apparent. And that's basically because I've given this pad one job, and it is to put a layer cake in the background of the track so that everything else can attach to it. It's basically gluing the track together. Now, we've got another instance of a pad here, and it's very similar to the first one, but then again, it's different, and I'm not using a sidechain compression on it. As you can clearly hear, this pad is much more animated. There's more stuff happening inside that pad. And it's basically because I have so much space in this part of the track. I've just got a bass and some drums going on here, and then some vocals right there. With all that space, I decided to animate the pad and make it more interesting to listen to. And since there is so much space and the pad becomes more animated, I didn't want to put a pumping sound on it too. So what I want to show you next is how I've animated this pad to make it sound like it does, and we have to go into the animation lanes. But before that, I just want to show you the equalizers of these gadgets. It's not much. I've barely even touched anything in here. I've just been low shelving down the muddiest bassy frequencies, so they won't fight with the bass or anything else. So the frequency knobs are set to around 480 Hz, and then just pull down minus 5.3 decibels. And I'm using the same settings on these two gadgets. Right, so let's go and look at the actual animation of the haQ gadget right here. So we open up this window and then we tap down here and this pops up. And so what I've done here is I've animated the higher level and high level. So this is basically affecting the mixer inside the haQ gadget. And we can actually see this animation going on while it happens. So this is really a simple thing to do. Now Helsinki has 4 sound generators. So you mix the level outputs with this mixer right here. And that's what I've done. It's the same thing as dragging volume faders up and down on a mixer. Thank you so much for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. I've also got a Patreon account if you want to support me in that way. You can see the address right here, and you can also find it down in the description together with an app link for KORG Gadget. Now I've got an entire KORG Gadget playlist, including more KORG Gadget tutorials than just the production series. And you can access that playlist if you click on the box to the right. And to the left, you can find my regular haQ attaQ playlist with all of the haQ attaQ episodes I make. As usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff and have a lot of fun doing it.